भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः।
The attitude. What is there in your mind when you are doing some activity? How you are doing it? With what kind of thought you are doing it? How you are doing this activity? Whatever it is. It may be a simple activity of walking to the school. It may be a simple activity of going and cleaning your desk and sitting in the class, listening your teacher. Whatever may be the activity. What is the attitude with which you are doing? What is the thought process in your mind? How your mind is working when you are doing that activity? That is called as the yoga. So what is the meaning of karma yoga? The attitude with which we do any action so that we are happy with the action that we have done. Okay. So this karma yoga has two parts we have to understand. One is that we are doing a particular activity, correct? And whenever we do a particular activity, automatically a result of that activity is got by us. Automatically, whether you like it or not. When you throw something to the wall, when you throw a ball on the wall, it comes back to us, isn't it? So whenever you do any action, there is something which comes back to us called as the reaction, correct? In physics, in chemistry and all, you have got the laws, correct? They are teaching you action and reaction. So for every action, there is a reaction. That is what you learn in science, correct? Similarly, in our scriptures also, they say, every action that we do in our lives, in our daily lives, has a reaction. And that reaction is called as the karma-phala, or the result of the action. So now in karma, what do we have? We have the action itself, which is done by us. Then we have got a reaction, which is called as the karma-phala, which we get back. Now, what is this attitude with which we do the karma? God says, that is Ishvara or Bhagwan, Krishna, what does he say? He says that when you are doing your action, whichever action you are doing, the way you do your action, depends, that decides what kind of result you get from that action. Okay, so one thing he says is, what is in your hands to do the action? Correct? What is in my hands to do the action? What comes out of it? What is the result that comes? I do not know. Correct? I will give you an example. One small example I will give you. Now, supposing I am standing after the school is over and I want to go home. Okay? And I am standing waiting for the bus in the bus stop. Now, what is my karma? I am waiting for the bus to come so that I can go home. Correct? Now, I have started doing my karma, my action. Now, what are the things that can happen as a reaction? What things can happen there? There are 4 things that can happen. Okay, I'll tell you. One very interesting, you just look at this story. Now, I'm expecting the bus to come. That is my expectation. Normally, I'm standing in the bus stop because I know that in 5 minutes the bus will come. I will get into the bus, go and get down at the stop near my house and go home. This is what expected result, correct? Expected, this is every day I am doing that. This is the expected result. So the result or the phala of karma can be expected. I want this, I want to go home, I want to catch the bus. That is why I am standing in the bus stop. And I get the bus, I go home. So expected result has happened. Secondly, there is one more possibility that the bus comes, it is so full and overloaded, I don't get any place in the bus and the bus goes off. And for 1 hour, the next bus does not come at all. And I'm late to go home by 1 hour. So what is this? Less than what I expected, correct? I expected to reach home at 5:30 if the bus comes properly. Now the bus came, but I could not get in. Waited for the next bus, which came 1 hour late. I reached home at 7 o'clock in the evening. So what is this? Less than what I expected. I have done the same karma. I have done the same action, correct? I have gone and stood at the bus stop as I did always, waiting for the bus. I have done my duty. I am doing whatever I am doing. But then 1 or 2 days, sometimes I may not get the bus and I go late. So the result is less than what is expected, correct? Then the third result is there where I am waiting for the bus and my father is going home from his work and he sees me standing at the bus stop and he says, "Hey, ba, come, let us go home." So I get a free ride on my father's motorbike and I go home. I don't even wait for 5 minutes for the bus. I go home earlier than expected. Okay, this is what? More than what I expected result, correct? More than what I expected. Then there is a fourth result also. What is that fourth result? I was trying and waiting for the bus. The buses never came. There was some bus strike or something. Nothing came at all. Then I had to walk back home and I reached home at 8 o'clock. Exactly opposite to what I expected. Correct? So when I do any work, when I do any karma, any action, there can be 4 types of results, 4 types of reactions. One is as I want it, as expected. Correct? Second is less than what I expect. Third is more than what I expect. Fourth one is opposite to what I expected. So for every karma, for every action, there can be one of these 4 types of reactions. So the result of any action can be any of these. Let us take another example. You have studied very well. Very well you have studied. Exam is there. The paper comes to your hand and then you are expecting 80% marks in science paper. You have done very well. And when the result comes, yes, you have got around 80%, whatever I expected. Good. I got whatever I expected. There is a possibility that while writing the exam, the answers, you made some silly mistakes here and there. Okay. You did not realize that you have done some silly mistakes here and there. And then when you got the results of this test or exam, you got only 60% of marks, not 80%. You got only 60%, less than what you expected. Then the third alternative is what? You have done well, you expected 80%, but somehow your answers were so good and your teacher liked the answer so much, you got 95% instead of 80%. So more than what you expected, correct? The last one is what? You think that you're going to get 80% and write the exam. While writing the exam, something you don't feel well, you forget what you have studied, suddenly you get very confused with the question, or you don't see one question at all, you leave one question totally, and then what you get? You fail in the examination. You expected to get 80%, but because of some stupid mistakes, silly mistakes, you left out 1 or 2 questions in a hurry and you fail in the exam or in the test. So there are 4 kinds of results that can come from any action that you do. That is what Lord Krishna says, that, look Arjuna, you can do whatever you have to do because you have the choice. Going and standing on the bus stop, waiting for the bus, it is your freedom. You have got that adhikara. You have got that kind of a mind, and you have got that free will to go and stand at the bus stop, to study the subject well, to get prepared properly, to come to the examination, to write the paper properly. There also you have control over your action. You have the free will of the action. But then Arjuna, when the result of your action comes, you don't have total control over it. What makes the result different from your action, you don't know. There are so many variables. There are so many things which you did not even think of. Therefore, what he is telling Arjuna is, in this war also, Arjuna, you have to do your duty of fighting this war to the best of your ability. But then, what can be the results of this war? Number 1, you may win. Number 2, you may not win at all. You may win, but with less than what you expected. With great difficulty, you may win. The 4th one is your entire Pandava army itself may die in the war. That is also possible. Correct? So what results you are going to get is not in your control. So what is in our control? Doing our karma, doing our actions properly is the way of doing our job, so that whatever the results are, we accept those results gracefully. Understand? So, what is this meaning of karma yoga then? What Krishna says is, Arjuna, understand that you have to do your work, your job, the way you have to do, with all your intelligence, with all your buddhi, with all your preparation, with all your practice, to the best of your ability, you have to do your job. But when the results come, you are not totally in control of the results. You will have to accept whatever result comes to you. Now, it is very difficult, no? Supposing I have prepared very well for the examination, I am expecting 80%, I am getting only 60% or 50%. How can I accept it? I will feel bad, isn't it? I will feel that sorrow. I'll feel very bad. I will get angry with myself. I'll get angry with so many things. So now the attitude of doing the karma comes. What is this attitude? Krishna says, Arjuna, I know that when you do any action, you are expecting a result. There is nothing wrong in your expecting a result out of the action, because nobody can do anything without having some expectation of some result, correct? Otherwise, why will you go to school? Because you want to learn. That is your expectation, correct? Why do you want to complete your school? Because your expectation is you have to go to college. Why should I finish my college and then go to engineering? Because you have an expectation that later on you will get a good job and you'll be an engineer, you will be a help to your family, to the society, everything. Correct? So what Krishna says is, there is nothing wrong in expecting a result when you do a job. But Arjuna, even now, when you are fighting this war also, there is nothing wrong if you expect to win this war. But Arjuna, every time what you want will not happen. What you want may not happen. What you want may also happen. Therefore, you should be prepared for all types of results. At the same time, you should be doing your action with all your sincerity, with all honesty, with all your hard work. So what is this attitude then? Then Krishna says, you do all your work with the attitude of karma yoga. What is karma yoga now? What is this attitude of karma yoga? Krishna says, whatever work you are doing, you think you're offering it to me, to Lord, to God. So everything that I do, I offer it to Lord. How do I offer something that I do to the Lord or to God, to Ishvara? I have a prayer. Oh God, I am studying now for exam. My study is my action. I offer it to you. This is my offering. Like how we give Naivedya, like how we offer puja, how we show the incense stick, how we offer the arati, like that. In my mind only, I have to think of Ishvara, and in my mind, I have to have this bhavana, this feeling, oh God, oh Lord, hey Krishna, I am offering this action to you as my puja. My studies will be your puja, my way of worshipping you. My writing the exam will be my way of worshipping you. My behavior with my parents, behaving like a good child at home, will be my offering to you. So, whatever action I am doing, I will do it as a worship which I offer to you. And when the results come, whatever the results are, hey Bhagwan, I will accept those results as your prasada. Okay? When you stand in a temple and when you do the puja, after the arati, no, the pujari will come and you will get the prasada, correct? One person will get a tulsi leaf as a prasada. Next person will get one small flower as a prasada. Another person may get one small balehannu, one small banana as prasada. Another person will get what? One small packet of kalsakre, and small of crystal sugar. Sugar you may get as prasada. Another person, the pujari, will just randomly give vibhuti packet will be there as prasada. So different people are getting different things in the temple after Aarti. Correct? Will we compare? Will we compare to the next person and will we say, ನಿನಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಹೂ ಸಿಕ್ತು, ನನಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಬರೀ ತುಳಸಿ leaf ಸಿಕ್ತು, why you got sugar crystal, why I didn't get? I will not question Bhagwan like that, isn't it? I will not question the pujari also like that. Whatever comes in my hand after the puja, what do? I will put it on my eyes, I will, and then with namaskara, I accept it. Hey God, thank you for this. So Krishna says that karma yoga is also this way of doing your work. How? Whatever you have to do as a student, as a child of your parents, as a brother for your brothers or sisters, as a student in the school, as our Swami's bhaktas, whatever is needed to be done by you, whatever you have to do in your daily activities, whether it is playing a game, whether it is doing the morning prayers, whether it is doing evening prayers, whether it is doing homework, whether it is preparing for your test or examination, whether it's writing examination, whatever is done in your daily activities, all the time, that feeling should be there in your mind that this action I am offering to God as my offering. I am offering puja in this form. While writing exam also, hey Lord, I am writing this exam, but this is my way of offering to you. This is my puja to you. This is my offering to you. And however much I get as marks, whether I get 80%, 70%, 100%, whatever I get, oh Lord, it is your prasada. I will accept it. If it is less than what I expected, I will work harder so that next time I will be able to get more marks. If I get more than what I really worked for, I'll be thanking you. Okay, but I will not become very, very, I won't have that pride and that had, oh, I did so well, I got 90%. See how much you got, only 80. See, I got 90. That kind of a pride will not be there. Why? Because whatever I'm getting is God's prasada to me. So when I do badly, when I don't succeed, when I don't get the results that I want, I'm not feeling very depressed and dejected. When I get more than what I wanted or what I expected, I don't feel that kind of a pride and arrogance. And I won't put down another person. Oh, you did so badly. You are not. I don't say that. Why? Because I understand that all work that is done out of my free will, I am doing it as a worship to God. And whatever I get as the result is what is given by Bhagwan as a prasadam. This is what is called as the karma yoga, attitude of karma yoga. Doing what I have to do properly, the way it has to be done, without leaving anything undone, to the best of my ability. How do I worship God? With all my sincerity, isn't it? If I have to do a worship, if I have to do arti, with all my mind I sit, I concentrate on what I am doing because I want to give the best to God. I want to offer my best to Ishvara, to God. Correct? Therefore, what do? I do my best, offer my best. Supposing you have to offer a naivedya to the Lord, the best fruit you will offer, the best flower you will offer. Correct? Because you want to give the best to the Lord. Similarly, here in Karma Yoga also, I do my best because I want to offer my best attempt, my best effort that I have put to God. And whatever I get, it is the prasadam of God. This is what is called as Karma Yoga. And how does Lord Krishna explain that to Arjuna? That we will see the most important 3 verses of the second chapter. Now we are going to see 47th verse of the second chapter. karmaṇy-evādhikāras mafaleshu kadāchana ma karma-phala-hetur bhūr ma te saṅgo stvakarmaṇi. Whatever I told you all this time, no? That Lord Krishna is telling in just 4 lines. So what is he saying? Look, Arjuna, you have the freedom only to do what you have to do and what you can do. And you do not have any kind of a control over what result you will get. Then, does it mean that I will not do the work at all? Some people may say that, no? If I don't have control over the result, why should I do my work at all? I will not do it. Supposing you say that, can you say that? You cannot say that, isn't it? So what Krishna says is that whatever work you are doing, you are only contributing. You are a contributing factor. You cannot control the result. So you all know about the voting that goes on in elections. You have seen, no? The voting that goes on in elections, you have seen, correct? Now, of course, you're all still small. None of you are voting. But then I'm sure you see your father, mother, your older brothers, sisters voting and coming. What will they say? I voted for this particular person, for this particular party. Now, their vote definitely contributes to the final result. But their individual vote does not control the final result, correct? If that person wins or not, we cannot control it. My one vote cannot control it because there are so many other things which are responsible for who wins. But then every vote is a contributory vote. It is not a controlling vote. Similarly, Krishna says here that your action is only a contributing factor. You can only contribute with your action, but you have no control over the result of action. At the same time, it does not mean that I will not do. You can't say that. You have to do what you are supposed to do. Whatever is at that time your duty, you have to do. For you people as students, you have to do your duty. You have to go to the school every day. You have to study your lessons. You have to do your homework. Whatever assignments are given, you have to do. There is no other go. But then you have freedom in only contributing your action. Okay? But what result comes out of it is you have no control over that. At the same time, because you have no control over your actions, your results of your actions, you cannot avoid doing the action. Correct? Supposing you say, I don't know how many marks I will get in the examination. I have no control. So I will not go to the exam only. Can you say that? I will not write the exam only because I don't know how many marks I'll get. I may not get what I'm expecting. So I will not write the exam. Can you do that? You cannot do that. So he says, Arjuna, mate sangostu akarmaṇi. Arjuna, you cannot avoid an action. You cannot avoid what you have to do. You have to do whatever you have to do with the best of your ability, with all your effort. At the same time, you have to understand that what you get as result is not totally in your control. Okay, the result that you get, partly it is depending on what you have done, what you have contributed, but totally it is not under your control. Therefore, karmaṇy-evādhikāras. You have a right, you have, the free will, you have the all the effort you can do to do what you are supposed to do in the karma, in the action that you are doing. Mafaleshu kadāchana. You do not have any control over the karma-phala or the result of your action, and don't try to become a cause of karma-phala because you're only a contributor. You're not the controller of the final result of the action. At the same time, you cannot avoid doing whatever action you have to do. So what are the four things here? You have to do the action, whatever you are supposed to do. Number two, you cannot avoid doing that action. Number three, you have control only over what action you are doing. Number four, you don't have total control over whatever is the result of action. And therefore, when I offer the action, when I do the action, I offer it as a worship, as a puja, as an offering to the Lord, which we call as Ishvara Arpana. And when I take the results, when I accept the results, how do I accept them? I accept them with equanimity, without getting depressed, without getting very highly boisterous, without feeling all that, big, feeling arrogant about the results. I don't. I accept the results equally with equanimity. So he defines karma yoga. He gives a definition of karma yoga. What? In the 48th verse, he says, samatvaṁ yoga uchyate. I'll chant the whole verse, but the last line is important. Yoga-sthaḥ kuru karmaṇi saṅgaṁ tyaktvā dhanañjaya siddhy-asiddhyoḥ samo bhūtvā samatvaṁ yoga uchyate. So one definition of karma yoga is what? Samatvaṁ. That means what? Accepting any type of a result that comes with equanimity. Samatvaṁ means what? It is the same, with the sameness. Every result is same. 60% also sameness. 80% also sameness. 90% also sameness. You may ask me, how can I take 80 as equal to 60? How can you say 80% is 90%? It is not in terms of the figures. It is in terms of the attitude. 60% is also God's prasada. 80% is also God's prasada. 90% is also God's prasada. Therefore, samatvaṁ yoga uchyate. And while doing the work, how do I do it? In the verse number 50, he says, buddhi-yukto jahātīha ubhe sukṛita-duṣhkṛite tasmād yogāya yujyasva yogaḥ karmasu kaushalam. Doing my duty seriously, sincerely, to the best of my ability, here Krishna calls yogaḥ karmasu kaushalam. So what is the definition of karma yoga? Karmasu kaushalam. doing my duty sincerely and to the best of my ability. And samatvaṁ, as told in the 48th verse, accepting, receiving the results of my actions without complaining, without blaming anybody, without simply getting depressed and crying. If it is less than what I have expected, oh God, I accept these marks, but then I will do better next time. I will learn from my mistakes. I will find out where I went wrong. I will try to improve. So I take even a low result as God's prasada, which has given me an opportunity to go into it, to understand where I went wrong, how I should improve, and I will improve. If it is a very good result, more than what I expected, I won't have any kind of an arrogance. I won't feel that pride. I will accept it as this is God's way of giving me this kind of a result for the activity that I have done. For my effort, God has given me this as a prize. God has given me more than what I have expected. So I will not have that garva, that ahankara, that pride, that arrogance, all those things I will not have. So what is now Krishna trying to tell Arjuna? Arjuna, you do your duty. What is your duty, Arjuna? You are a kshatriya. You are fighting a dharma yuddha. You have to protect the society from adharma, as we have seen all these days. And now you are standing in the middle of the battlefield. All the conches are blown. The war is about to start. And you are telling me that you are going to run away from the war. You are going to go to the forest and you are going to become a sannyasi. You are telling me, is this what you are supposed to do, Arjuna? You cannot do that. You cannot escape from doing your duty. You have to do your duty. You do your duty of fighting the war. How? You do it to the best of your ability. And this fighting this war also, think in your mind that this is your offering to me Bhagavan, to the Lord, to God. You're offering this, fighting this war as your offering, as your worship to me. And siddhy-asiddhyoḥ samo bhūtvā, whether you win the war, whether you don't win the war, don't bother about it. Ubhe sukṛita-duṣhkṛite. Don't think that I'm going to get this result or that result. Don't worry. You have an important job to do which is in front of you. You have to do that job. You cannot run away. At the same time, what is the result of your action? You have no control over it, Arjuna. What can you do now? There are only two things you can do. You have to do what you have to do. You have to do it with the attitude of offering it to me. When you offer your actions to me, offer means you can't offer it like a naivedya on the plate, correct? Offer means in my mind, I have all the time that feeling that, oh God, oh Lord, hey Deva, I'm offering this, answering this questions paper, answering this in my answer sheet will be offering to you. Then what happens? I do my job very well. Why? I'm not worried about the result, correct? When I'm all the time worried about the result, when I'm all the time thinking about the result, whatever I do, it will not be proper. It will not happen properly. Therefore, I can do my job freely without getting disturbed by what is going to happen by the result. Correct? Therefore, what he says is that don't think whether you are going to have siddhi, that is winning, asiddhi, whether you lose, don't worry about that. Okay? Sukha dukkhe same kritva labha labhau jaya jayau. He said, don't worry about sukha, dukkha, gain, loss, nothing. Do your work. Okay? That is the only thing you can do. Don't run away from your work. Don't give any kinds of excuses to run away from your work. Do your work. At the same time, understand that whatever you are doing, you're only a contributor. You're not the controller of the results. Therefore, To do your action properly, you do your actions, whatever action you are doing, as an offering to me with arpana buddhi. Arpana means where? What? Offering, arpana buddhi. And whatever the results may be, accept them as my prasada. Then you will not get dejected. If it is not what you want, you will improve. It is an opportunity for you to improve. In some way, Lord God has made you understand that, look, child, your efforts are not enough. You must put more effort in giving this result and teaching you something. Try to understand that and do better next time. If you are doing very well, continue to do well. Therefore, hey Arjuna, karma yoga means doing whatever you have to do with the attitude of offering all my actions to God and receiving all the results as the prasadam of God. And then when I receive the prasada, there is samatvaṁ, means equal. I don't criticize the results. I don't make fun of the results. I accept them, samatvaṁ. And whenever I am doing my work, how do you do? Karmasu kaushalam. With I take all the care to do whatever I am doing properly, concentrating. Therefore, he is telling this to Arjuna, and through Arjuna, he is telling all of us. Today, if I am sitting here and teaching you how should I do my work, whatever I am teaching you is my offering to Lord Krishna. And whatever results I get in the form of you people listening to me carefully, enjoying this talk, understanding something out of what I am telling, all that is Ishvara Prasada to me. I do my duty to the best of my ability. Karmasu kaushalam. And whatever is the response of you people, I accept it as what? Samatvam, God's Prasada. So, this is the most important aspect of the teaching of Bhagavad Gita, that is Karma Yoga, which I have spoken to you in a very brief way. And tomorrow we'll be talking about who is a wise man and what are the features of a wise man who is called as a sthita prajna, and how Karma Yoga makes us wise. How Karma Yoga makes us wise people. That we are going to see tomorrow. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.